Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a truck that, well, I would kind of consider it to be a quote-unquote forgotten truck of the mod browser. However, there are, well, at least in my last Forgotten Trucks video, there were a lot of people in my comments that were like, what are you talking about? These are not forgotten. We're going to kind of have to find a little bit of an agreement on what actually makes a truck quote unquote forgotten or not, because this thing is definitely not brand new by any means. And while yes, this truck has been around for honestly a really long time now, I would honestly say it should still stack up really well against a lot of the trucks that we run today. So I think it's time to take this thing out to Rock Runner's Mud Park and see what it can properly do. It's really slow. It's really slow. Now, I mean, obviously you're not going to look at a truck like this and be surprised that it's anything other than pretty dang slow. So that's not really surprising on any stretch, but it's honestly been so long since I've driven it that I've entirely forgotten how it drives. I've entirely forgotten its capability level. I don't know anything essentially about how this truck drives. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get to the bottom of here. You know, I will say though, the plaid interior is honestly, I can't decide if it's like a mood or if it's super out of place on this truck. I would take the side route, but I don't think we'd fit. I do love the articulated frame though. It definitely gives it a more heavy equipment type feel than necessarily a truck feel. And I think the reason why that's really, really cool is because it, in a lot of ways, it does kind of go back to those Mud Runner days of a lot of the trucks that had, you know, maybe articulated frames or a lot of just different types of controllability. And having that ability and having that option definitely allows this thing to be a lot more maneuverable than it otherwise would be. Question is, are we going to throw it into the deep end right off the bat? Yes, we are. Why would we not throw it into the deep end right off the bat? The biggest thing working against it is the fact that, yes, it is extremely heavy. However, in a couple of ways that might actually help us. Honestly, I feel like it's going to be one of those trucks, or rather end up being one of those trucks where it's going to try really, really hard to get through an obstacle like this, and it eventually will. It's just going to take its own sweet time getting there. And bumping up the wheel speed is not going to make us go any faster. Honestly, this is probably the part where you would just turn the cruise control on and read a book. Or you could just, you know, you could turn the cruise control on, lay down across your comfortable-ish plaid upholstered seat. You could honestly probably just about fix dinner for Beans as well. What in the hell is that intake doing? That intake is having a day. That better be a flex pipe, because if that's not a flex pipe, that's just, that's gonna snap. Although I do genuinely love how confidence-inspiring the truck is, despite its lack of speed. It's so insanely capable that it's like, yeah, it might take 1.5 million years to get there, but it will. It will absolutely get there, and that was never a question. I wonder if it'll let me bump up the speed just a hair. Oh, it's there a little bit. If only a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Oh, if you actually like wiggle the frame back and forth, it kind of starts to find a little bit of traction. Oh. It is so incredibly strange, though, not having any steering happening at the front axle. Oh, we're legitimately about to make this. We're legitimately about to make it all the way through this and then just drive off. Oh my God! Oh, it actually went into high range and it didn't fight me? That's incredible! I mean, it took it long enough to get through there, but we made it out to the other side and it genuinely did not complain about it. Oh, I love how there's trucks just like scattered all over the mud pit from the last test. Although I do think now we should probably go ahead and turn it up a notch, or rather a notch or two. Because the next obstacle I have in mind may very well just drown this thing. And I know that that's not really my objective is not to like entirely just destroy the truck just yet. I mean, obviously we'll get to that, but that's not my current objective in the meantime. Although I'm going to be genuinely sad when we ruin these plaid seats. I adore the plaid seats. The plaid seats are amazing. Well, this will be fun. This will be absolute loads of fun. Oh! I'm actually kind of not looking forward to this because I feel like it's... Oh! Oh my God! Are we actually gonna go anywhere? Or is that all you've got for me? Oh, wait a second. I'm just a little bit sad that I forgot that I could actually raise up the suspension. Now this, you can tell it's going to be much worse than the other one because it is... Yeah, we're in low and we're going substantially slower than we were in the other mud pit. Granted, I knew the other one was going to be a little bit easier than these, but I didn't know it was going to be that much easier. Like, if I knew it was going to be that much easier, I probably would have come here first. But again, I think the wild thing about this truck is that it still has not stopped. It hasn't stopped. I mean, I know it's obviously extremely slow and it's gonna take forever to get to the other side, but it really does bring together that approach of like, I might be slow, but I will get there. No matter what happens, I will get to my destination and whatever I'm hauling will also arrive. But what do you think about this truck? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Are you kind of like in the middle about it? Is it a truck that you maybe didn't know about and now that you've seen it again, you might go use it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if this is a truck that you would consider adding to your fleet. And if it is, then send it. Have an absolute blast with this thing because it is that good. It really is that good. And at the end of the day, it's one of those trucks that even if you've never used it before, and even if you're not in as I was saying, even if you've never used something like this before, or you're not into trucks like this, you're only into maybe like the pickup truck mods, for example, this is still definitely a truck that I think is worth driving, and not only worth driving, but worth checking out for a huge variety of reasons. And that is where we're going to end this test. But if y'all enjoyed, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and I will see y'all next time.